Over the course of time, the books of culinary history have been stacked with a diverse and plentiful list of colorful entrees. Some foods are fads, others are maligned. But among the wide array of cuisine on our planet, only a handful of dishes have graduated from a simple blip on the pop culture radar to become synonymous with a region or people. Today, the evolution of ramen has seen the pervasive meal gain traction all over the world. From trendy storefront restaurants to inexpensive instant lunches, the iconic noodles are enjoying a resurgence in cities all over the world.
Traditionally speaking, ramen was pretty much invented after the World War II. When Japan, a country was decimated after the war, people were starving, nothing to eat, so they needed to come up with a cheap, nourishing kind of belly stuffer. Noodle is something that once it's made and once it's preserved properly, it can hold for quite a long time with very little maintenance. It's shelf stable, so ambient storage will keep it. And I feel like a lot of different cultures, when you talk about a meal and something that people eat, really comes down to having carbs, having flavor, and maybe having some protein or something of substance. So I think last couple years, and of course with people like David Chang from Momofuku and all the other different celebrity chefs that are now playing with Asian flavors and actually exploring ramen, I feel like ramen has become a real popular thing. And it's not that intimidating because the penetration rate of pasta is quite high in the US, in the Western world, and pasta's a noodle basically, right? So the noodle concept itself is nothing new. It's just the format and the delivery and the flavors is a little bit different. So I think that's something that, you've already taken that new customer or that new person like 50% of the way. Nowadays, everyone's trying to up their game, and people are specifically trying to add protein, add nutrients, do gluten-free, and all these different things to make that cheaper product a little bit more premium, a little bit more healthier for people to eat. What I think is interesting is that instead of trying to do all that, there are certain products out there that naturally have all those benefits that people are looking for. For example, when you talk about an air-dried noodle, that doesn't have a deep-fried aspect. It doesn't have the oil, it doesn't have the saturated fat, and all those bad things that come with it. At the same time, taking the time to switch the seasoning and use a liquid type seasoning, now you're introducing real natural products into your noodle without even trying. So in 2015, when I launched A-SHA Foods USA, every company out there, a lot of ramen companies were coming up and upstarts, and they all wanted to do something different. They all wanted to set themselves apart, whether it be adding more protein, adding more vitamins, or doing gluten-free, things like that. But what we found with our product and why we brought it over is because our product naturally had all those things. We actually didn't have to do much to our base product. So our brand being a legacy brand from Taiwan since 1977, we had high protein because of the wheat flour we used. We had a cleaner ingredient deck because we used naturally brewed soy sauce. We didn't have MSG and all the artificial flavoring because the type of sauce that we were using was liquid-based, and we weren't doing a broth-based noodle. So the flavor profile didn't have to be as strong, if you will. So we didn't have to add a lot of artificial things into our products. The air drying process is actually the more traditional way to make noodles. So for us, we spend a lot of time. It's an 18-hour process for us to air dry our noodles. It's very costly, it's very time consuming. Overall, it's a lot of trouble in a way because we have very particular cages that we use. Those are patented cages that have very strict ventilation needs and things like that. So the timing of it all is very critical and it's a very laborious process. But we feel that at the end of the processing, that's really what makes that premium product, and that's really what sets us apart. Bringing that into this market, elevating the ramen experience and introducing a more premium product to the market was our goal, so that the average person at home that wanted that authentic, real traditional flavor, but also premium, could easily make it at home.
We've partnered with A-SHA to make noodles that have the same best-in-class ingredients we use in our own restaurants.
They're a cut above, man. They've got really good noodles. They've got nice flavors that are definitely indicative of Taiwan.
I first tried A-SHA noodles when I was in college. It was a healthy alternative to your standard kind of ramen. It allowed me to, easily prep my own meals and also get something that's healthy and preparing me to compete and play.
What really motivates us and gets us super excited is when we get validation of our product, because the product in many senses is like your child. So you know everything about it, but not everyone else does. So when we have shared our product with chefs and people that really know their stuff when it comes to food, and the feedback that we consistently get is, this is amazing. I've never had anything like this. There's so many different things I can do with it. I want to put this on my menu. Those are the things that really get us excited. Those are the things that motivate us and want to keep us going and keep making more products and more things like that, that again, really touch on the emotions with people and really get them excited. That gets us excited. That keeps us moving, right? So all that that's very encouraging for us.
A-SHA Foods. Since 1977, 40 years of ramen tradition. For more, visit ashadrynoodle.com.